Hey there friends, how are you all doing this morning? My name is Rabbit and welcome to some more of our Let's Play for Eternal Eyes on the PlayStation 1. I hope you guys are all doing well and feeling fabulous as you hunker down and get started with me for another batch of videos and another recording session. So just to quickly catch you up to speed with what ended up taking place between our last set of episodes and this one, you more than likely have already noticed that there's been a few notable changes. Well, I shouldn't really say a few. That implies that there are several, but there are two notable changes. One being that Haresh is back in our team. It didn't take me too long to level him up just a bit and get him close to where LaFern's at. I mean, he's just such a powerhouse, and I think I really missed having his play style. And while Olivier delivered somewhat of that, and the semblance of that play style was there, it wasn't fully within my reach and within my grasp, like with what Haresh brought to me. So I decided to put him back. And then as for Olivier, speaking of him, I'm sure you can already tell that he has seen some changes. He was previously in a wolf form, the gray wolf. I don't remember what it's called. High wolf maybe? High jackal? I think it was a high jackal. He's not that anymore. So why don't we actually take a look at his status and I will tell you exactly what I did. So it wasn't anything too fancy. He already had a little green orb or a green jewel queued. Now, as for what specifically that green jewel was reflecting, I don't know. Was it green power? Was it green wisdom? Was it green beast? I really don't know. I'm thinking I had thrown it at him on camera, so you guys can probably just look back at episode 31 to see, but I don't think it really matters. All that should matter, at least from what I've experimented with so far, is it seems like the actual colors on occasion dictate more of the path they go down than the color and attribute combination, but not always. So, you know, I guess I don't really have enough information to speak on that, but in this instance, I don't think that the sub attribute of the color makes a difference. So with that being said, he had green queued, and then from there I did throw pink power. So again, I don't know if pink wisdom would accomplish the same thing, but in this case I used specifically pink power, and it ended up turning him into this, which is called Crusher. Those are his stats. I will let you see his magic list here just super fast. Since we kind of idled on that previous screen there, you had a nice little pocket of time to take a glance at his base numbers. So there's the green list, and he's got red. So, you know, still a nice little repertoire of spells that we can pull from, but I do think that his bread and butter is really going to be in the physical DPS, much like Haresh, and honestly just much like he played before. But he does have a nice little batch of spells that he can tap into if we want to do some AoE damage to our enemies. So that's really it, friends. Like I said, Haresh is back. Olivier has changed for the better, I think, and we are ready to move forward onto the second floor. So let's do just that. As I already mentioned at the start of this video, hope that all of you are feeling great today as you are watching this. Oh my goodness, have had the weirdest week, and we'll get into that here in just a moment, but I'm trying to buy a car, and I feel like the experience of shopping for a vehicle has made me feel so old and so weird, you guys. And I don't know if it's just me or what, but the vehicle that I currently have, I've had for a very long time. I think I got it in 2007 or 2008, so it's been a minute, and it was used when I picked it up. But again, we'll talk about this in just a second. You guys know the drill with me. I want to look at the stats as well as the names of these new-ish monsters here, or Pappets as the game likes to call them. This is Jiparg. Seems like he's just a recolor of, I think it was a purple, maybe it was gray instead, ghost that we've run into. Its stats, or not its stats, its spells are Gustoma, which very familiar territory, and Gustoga, pseudo-familiar territory. I don't know if we've necessarily possessed that spell before, but the description of it makes it sound like it's nothing too special. And for floor 2, there's not a whole lot going on, is there? All right, well, let's look at this guy. It is Spell Hat. Also seems to be a recolor of one that we've encountered before. Those are his stats, but what I really care about is, okay, Tempiga. That's going to be a little scary, so maybe we should prioritize these things. Glycicle, not really new, and Levine, not really new. So that's what we've got. 2 new-ish faces. and maybe one new spell. I don't know if we've seen Tempiga before. But alrighty, let's just dive right in. No need to belabor this. We're ready to fuck some folks up. So let's do just that. But yes, back to what I was saying. So the vehicle that I've been driving for years and years is the same one that I had gotten right after high school as kind of a graduation gift, I guess. I had a different car during high school, but it was a very, just low-key, cheapo car that, I just needed something to take me from home to school. I think our family was... It's weird to say this because I know there are people that live in a greater state of poverty, but we didn't have a whole lot of money growing up. So it was interesting to see a lot of my friends whose parents, who maybe were doctors or lawyers or things like that, they would get brand new cars for their 16th birthday. My first car, it wasn't like a total trash heap, but it was not anything spectacular, you guys. I don't even remember what year it was, but it was like this little itty bitty Saturn Coupe, and I had to pay for part of it. Yes, I worked in high school, so I paid half of my first car, and it was like a $5,000 used vehicle, which again, I mean, it wasn't a total piece of shit. It worked fine for the 2 years that I had it before it completely just went by the wayside and went to car heaven. But, it was nice to have a vehicle, and it was nice to take ownership of it because I had to put forth some cash to get it. My dad was really reasonable about things like that, where he would front you cash for some things. Like, I didn't have, obviously, $2,000 some just to throw at a car immediately, but I had a decent amount of savings, so I did give my dad $1,000 down for it, and I paid him the other $1,000 over the course of a couple of months for my half of the car. But anyway, with that being said, so the first, I guess, real legit vehicle that I got was the one that I received after high school. I still had to pay for part of it, but my father paid, I think it was like 75% instead of 50%, and that 25% was my high school graduation gift, which I remember some of my friends were like, whoa, that's kind of, your parents are making you pay for your own car, but, I was happy that he was even helping me because I've had friends that their parents didn't fucking do jack diddly, either because they didn't have the means for it or because they felt like you are technically an adult and you need to act like one. I think there are so many different ways of parenting, and I can't really say if one way is necessarily better than the other, because you hear people that say, I want to give my children the absolute best and it doesn't matter what it takes, and so they'll pay for everything. Some people don't super duper love that parenting style, as they feel maybe it encourages people becoming overly reliant on others for their success, or maybe they just don't foster an early sense of urgency and responsibility. I really can't comment too much on that. I'm just, here to tell you what my experience was like. So I appreciated that my father did expect me to work a little bit for what I received from him. And the car that I'm driving now is still it's a Ford Escape that I got, and I think it was 2008 actually, because I graduated high school in 2007, and when I left for my undergrad in Kansas, I drove my little shitty car, and it broke down a couple months after that. So I think it was right at the start, if my timeline and my memory is correct. I'm 90% sure it was from 2008, but it was a couple years older than that. So, again, it was not anything brand spanking new, anything extraordinary, but, it was a reliable vehicle. I'm not one of those people that I'm pro Ford or pro Honda or pro Subaru. Like, I don't care. What's more important to me is that a vehicle is reliable and it's safe and that I can see out of it, which sounds odd, but it's a true need for someone like me who's about 4'10". I have to be able to see in front of the car, and if the dashboard is excessively long and the nose of the car, I'm sure my terminology is not right, but I'm not a mechanic, y'all, so just work with me here, okay? But if the nose of the car is also too long, I can't really see like curbs very well. So it's important to me to have a vehicle that's high off the ground and that has a more blunted face. So you folks who drive these little ass sports cars that are really low to the ground and that are just exceedingly long, I don't know how you do it. I would not be able to see anything, and I would probably be hitting a lot of curbs and running over things. It would be a very, very bad decision for me to make a purchase like that. So I fell in love with sports utility vehicles when I got that Ford Escape, and it was a wonderful vehicle that took me through a lot. And I do mean a lot, you guys. Like, when I lived in Kansas, the weather was absolutely insane, and that vehicle has taken me through driving through pounds and pounds of snow. And by pounds, I don't mean genuine pounds, but I'm just using a bit of hyperbole here to say that I've driven through a lot of snow in that vehicle, and it's kept me safe. I've slid off the road on black ice. I've rolled it twice, not ever my own fault. I've actually never been in a technical car accident where it's involved another vehicle, and I was at, Rigors of Winter? That's interesting. We've never seen that object before, so we will have to peep that here in a second. But I've never been in an accident that's really been my fault and that's involved another vehicle, or at least I don't think so. I know I've hit a curb before, but it didn't really damage the car. So if you don't count hitting curbs when you're first learning to drive, and I backed into a gate like the first year I was learning to drive as well, but I've never like hit another car or run into a tree or anything like that. But I've slid off a lot of ice because I went from Kansas to Colorado, then to Wisconsin, and it's been wild. Like, my driving journey, I don't know. I know some people, they don't believe in the idea of like guardian angels or anything like that, but I'm telling you guys, I feel it's been multiple miracles that have kept me in fairly decent shape. Because, whoa, I can't equip this to, I wonder what that is. Rigors of Winter. I'm guessing then it's something for one of our Pappets. So let's just look at that. But yes, I guess to finish the thought, I feel like I absolutely have a guardian angel, because the 2 times that I rolled my SUV due to black ice, one was black ice and the other one actually a lady swerved and almost hit me. And in order to avoid her running into me, I had to swerve, and then my vehicle rolled off the highway, and like it was insane. But my car got like no damage and I wasn't hurt both times. It was just nuts. And it's like, oh my goodness, whatever you believe in, somebody was looking out for me. So I don't know, but where the fuck is this Rigors of Winter? Is it a consumable? Hold on, we're getting to the bottom of this right now. Or am I full of shit? I know I saw that. Granted, I do get distracted talking at times, but y'all, what? Unless it's an item? Is it a consumable? Survey says yes. Rigors of Winter, an upgraded version of Blizzard Essence, buries the enemy in snow from a distance. Oh, so it's kind of like a bomb type item, I guess. Sort of like how the fireworks here, they're an offensive consumable, if you want to call it that, as opposed to a restorative consumable. Seems like the Rigors of Winter falls into that same camp. Very odd, because the name has, I think, a powerful ring to it, so it almost suggests that it would be an accessory or equipment for Luke, but it's not. I don't know if I'm going to use this anytime soon, but there it is. For those of you who also couldn't find it, it is an item. It is not weapons. It is not armor. That is what you've got going on. So, quickly wrap up my story. My Ford Escape, it's taken me through a lot. It's got bukus of miles on it. I just have driven it all over the country, and I've used it for so many years now. I mean, technically 10 years I've had this car, and it was a few years older when I got it. So it's time for it to say goodbye. Even though I'm not trading it in, I think I'm going to keep it just for driving in town, but I need something new. So I'll save for our next episode the details of my journey so far searching for a new vehicle. I will throw out there that I absolutely hate the new Escapes. All of the Escapes that I've looked at so far that are from like 2014 and, newer, they're so long and clunky looking. The dashboards in the front are humongous. The noses are just, oh my gosh, it's like they're Pinocchio and they're lying to you about something. They're just so freaking long and I can't see, and it's breaking my heart because I'm obsessed with my Ford Escape, and it looks like I'm going to have to start looking at either Honda CR-Vs or maybe even smaller than that, like a Honda HR-V. I've got Subaru Crosstreks as well as Subaru Foresters on my mind, and one of the newest vehicles that made it to the US. I know these were in Brazil for a while, but I've been thinking about the Ford, I think it's called the EcoSport. So I think it's technically a subcompact SUV instead of a compact SUV. Again, I don't know. I'm not a mechanic, so don't rely on me for wholly accurate descriptions of these vehicles and correct usage of terminology. But with all that being said, when we come back together in our next episode, we will immediately head on to floor number 4. I'm guessing that the fights are going to pick up. That one even seemed easier than floor number 1. I'm not sure why, but we will just kickstart everything by diving into the 3rd floor. We don't have anything really, I guess, to throw at anyone. We picked up a couple of jewels. I don't know if I really... Yeah, that's not going to bring anyone up. Oh, well, Olivier can learn some magic, so you know what the hell. We'll just end on this note, throwing some jewels, getting people where they need to be. Whatever, Harash, here you go. You can have this. It brings up your magical force. Not really what I needed you to have a boost in, but it is what it is. So nope. Then Laferne, it is getting green wisdom, bringing up her swiftness. And I didn't get any blues. And, ooh, 2 yellows. Okay, maybe I'm full of shit. I was thinking, like, I didn't find too many. Maybe, like, what, 1 or 2? But it seems like we had a... rock. Have we seen that spell before? We may or may not have. Well, just kidding. You guys thought you were going free? Ha 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 ha. Nope, that's how I get ya. I finish up with a personal story and then lead you to believe you're going to be set free. And then in all actuality, nope, we're taking another second to look at shit. But at least it's good shit, right? Okay, let's find rock. It is here under yellow, and it makes stone columns fall from above and rise under the feet. I do think we've actually seen this before. Effectiveness is A, so I'm guessing it's an upper rank ability. Oh, well, maybe not. Looks like some of these medium tier ones are rank or effectiveness A. Interesting. Okay, but now, as I was starting to say, so we've officially done everything we need to do through all of the jewels that we had in our possession at our puppets, raised some stats, got access to new spells. So we will start on the 3rd floor here at the Hall of Dolls, and I have some very interesting stories to share with you about car shopping with some crazy salespeople, with some nice salespeople, and with some absolutely ratchet salespeople. I still haven't made a vehicle purchase yet. I'm going to be test driving some this week and next week, but I'm planning definitely before December, I will have a new car. So I've only got a few weeks before it'll be time. Oh my gosh, I feel like such an adult buying my first car. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh, this is just so wild getting older. But anyway, let me not sit here and, oh my gosh, and lament life and growing older, because it's bound to happen to all of us, right? None of us can escape it. So until episode number 33, my friends, take really good care of yourselves, be kind, and I, your host Rabbit, have greatly appreciated having you here listening to me. It's almost like you guys are my psychologist sometimes, and hopefully I'm able to offer some level of escapism for you as well. So we'll mutually get through this world together, you guys, relying on one another for that sense of security, and at least knowing that someone's listening to you, even if they think you're off your rocker. That's usually my experience with others, but I digress. So take care, everyone, and I will see you in just a moment in episode number 33.